Hi, I'm Jessica Hardicke with Clover Meadows Beef, and today we're talking about how to tell if your steak is done. So you've just gone out, you bought that perfect steak, you're so excited to grill it, and you're at home, you're about to throw the steaks on the grill, but you don't know how to get it to your perfect temperature. Maybe you like a medium steak or you like a well done steak. How do you know when you get it there? So there's basically two ways that you can tell if your steak is done. And that is one with the finger test, which we're about to do, and it literally just takes the palm of your hand. And the second way is with the meat thermometer, and we'll talk about that next later. So for the finger test, I must tell you first off that this is a very, very subjective test. A lot of professional chefs use it. It is not what we use because you ruin a lot of steaks until you learn what your hand feels like. But this is one way to do it. So first off, if you just hold out your hand and you feel the fleshy part of your hand by your thumb, that is what raw meat feels like, just your hand open, completely, totally relaxed. Then when you put your index finger, then that's rare. And as you move up your fingers to your pinky finger, you'll realize that that fleshy part of your hand starts to feel a little bit firmer. Rare is your index finger. Medium rare is your middle finger. Your ring finger is medium well. And your pinky to your thumb is well done. So you can test it with me as I'm doing it, and you can see that that area of your hand will start to feel firmer, and then you can try it with a piece of steak and see how each one will feel a little bit firmer as you're cooking your steak, as you're grilling. So your next option is to use a meat thermometer. That's what we really recommend. We have lots and lots of meat thermometers just given just what we eat. And we've tried all different kinds. These are all different brands. Some have dials, some have digital readouts on top. This one is by far our favorite. This is from Thermopin. They have a couple different ones that we really like. This is the Mark IV, and then they also have a Thermopop, both by ThermoWorks. You can only find them on their website. The reason that we like this one is because of the digital readout display that is extremely accurate. So you can tell here in St. Louis today, it is 61 degrees outside at the moment while I'm cooking the steak. It has a really, really nice long probe. The readout changes based upon however you have it with your steak. So while you're cooking, you don't have to do gymnastics to try to figure out what the readout is. You can actually just kind of move your hand around and the readout will move with you. So that's a really nice feature. So let's go ahead and throw a steak on the grill, and you can see this in action. And the nice thing about using a thermometer over using your hand in the finger test is the thermometer is going to give you an exact temperature, which then you'll know exactly what your steak is done to. It's really, really difficult to tell if a steak is done based upon time or based upon feel or looks. So a thermometer, a digital meat thermometer, instant read one, will tell you exactly what it is. All right, let's throw that steak on the grill. So I put the steak on the grill right now. I need to check its temperature, but I'm gonna do that with the thermometer, the digital meat thermometer. And the great thing about this thermometer is that it's incredibly, incredibly fast. So I'm not gonna be stuck with my hand over a hot grill for a long period of time. You can literally just stick it in, it'll start to read immediately. Depending upon where you have the probe, like right now it's at 97, but as you see, as I pull the probe out, hopefully you'll be able to see it on screen, it'll start to get warmer and warmer because the steak is warmer on the surface levels, which makes sense. So on the top surface and the bottom surface where it's cooked, that's going to be the hottest portion of the steak. In the middle of the steak is the coolest temperature because that's where it's getting cooked too. So I want my steak to be cooked to a medium, which is about 135 to 140 degrees. And so I'll pull my steak off a little bit before it reaches that temperature so that I have the steak that is perfect to me. Now alternatively, if I use the finger test method with this, with a medium steak, I would basically want my steak to be how it feels from my flesh to my ring finger. And so I would be touching the steak and then comparing it to how it feels with my ring finger. So that's a big difference of doing this and comparing versus using a thermometer. So hands down, every single time we recommend a thermometer. And my steak is getting really, really close to that temperature, so I'm going to need to pull it off soon. Thanks again for watching today. If you have any questions, let us know. You can reach out in the comments below or always visit us on our website at clovermeadowsbeef.com. Thanks again.